How's it going? I'm Austin. I'm gonna be your sales consultant showing you the new 2020 Nissan Altima. Come over here, let me show you what makes this car the best value in America. To start with, you see here you have your V-Motion grille. This grille has many added benefits besides the stylish looks. It also has greater efficiency with the airflow, which in times like this is very, very important because it increases your fuel economy and lowers your lifetime cost of ownership. Moving over here, you see your polycarbonate headlights. These can withstand an impact of up to 40 miles per hour. It's actually made from the same material as fighter jets and football helmets. Below them here, you see your blinker. Now moving on to the engine. All right, so moving left to right, I'm gonna show you a few of the features that make this car so special. To begin with, safety features. We have our crumple zones here and over here. What these do, in the unfortunate case of an accident, these will crumple in like an accordion, which will dampen the impact and minimize the damage. But more importantly, it'll keep the occupants inside the car safe. Now, of course, this feature is safe, so it's reflected in your insurance cost. So it's very, very beneficial to lifetime cost of ownership. Again, it's a big theme for this car. Moving on, you have your breakaway engine mount located right here. What this breakaway engine mount does is, in the event of an accident, the engine will fall out underneath the car, go underneath the chassis, and will totally avoid the passenger cockpit. Again, the benefit of this is increased safety, which will be reflected in not only the confidence while driving this car, but also your insurance payments. Moving on to the engine, or continuing with the engine, the first tune-up for this engine is at 105,000 miles. This is a 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder engine with 188 horsepower, 180 pound-foot torque. This engine has the power to get you where you need to be, as well as the efficiency to keep it in a good price. Back here, you're gonna see your anti-lock braking system. Few details you want to notice. Number one, it's located back here. So in the event of a minor collision, most cars have them up here, it'll still function. You won't need to replace that. That lowers down your repair bill. Also, looking further back, you're going to see some insulation back there. The insulation has a couple benefits. First and foremost, it reduces the noise in the passenger cockpit while you're driving, which is very, very comforting. And also, in the event of an accident, it'll protect you from a potential fire. This up here, the fire safety shield, also does the same thing, but it's on the hood. In the event of a fire, these little circles right here will melt, and this will fall down and then smother out the fire. Moving on, continuing with the engine, this engine comes with a timing chain. The timing chain will last the lifetime of the engine. Right? So because you replace your engine, you have to replace the timing belt, but there's no more timing belt. So that lowers the maintenance costs greatly. This engine also comes standard with platinum tipped spark plugs, which have to be replaced at 105,000 miles. But again, that's a long time, so it lowers your maintenance cost and lifetime cost of ownership for this vehicle. Moving over here, you're gonna see your battery. Your battery has this piece on it right here. This is your battery saving device. In the event that you leave an accessory on in the vehicle, if you get out of it in a hurry, something like that, accidents happen, mistakes happen, this battery saving device will shut off those electronics within 10 minutes of the car being turned off. This will prevent your battery from going dead and save you a lot of headaches. Finally, I want to direct your attention to the hood itself. You'll see how it kind of has a concave hood, scooped. In the event of an accident, this hood is designed to crumple up like an accordion again, some of the crumple zones. This is done so it'll protect the windshield from debris flying into the passenger cockpit. Moving on from here, you'll see the sleek lines of the cars, which give it an aggressive, stylish look. This also serves another benefit. This is extremely aerodynamic. So all the features I mentioned before, between the engine, the light aluminum block, as well as the sleek curves, cut down on the fuel consumption, which is why you're able to get up to 39 miles per gallon on the highway and up to 32 miles per gallon on the road. Continuing on, get you inside the vehicle here. Let me turn this on for you. Oh. Push to start, you put your foot on the brake, compress it, and then push the button, and the vehicle turns on. To start with, we'll move left to right. You see here, you have your stylish carbon fiber accents, followed by the white trim, and then moving on, you're gonna see your fuel cap here, release, as well as your hood release, emergency brake. Here you have your trunk release button, and this adjusts your brightness on your driver display. Moving over, you have trip reset, so if you want to calculate how far you're driving on a current trip, you press this button and it starts the odometer, and you can see how far the trip is. Here, You have your light switch. This controls your lights. This car comes standard with an auto light function. So you press the switch on auto, set it and forget it. You see here, these 4 directional pads control your driver's display. So it provides you different information, such as forward collision warning, or a warning for leaving the door open, etc. Moving on, you have your cruise control here, which is very handy for long drives. And you have your hands-free driving assist. You press this button and you can say a command. For instance, you say call mom, and this will automatically call your mother for you, as long as your phone is connected to Bluetooth, which is standard. Moving on here, you have your infotainment center, 7-inch display, comes standard with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Down here, you're gonna see your gauges for controlling air conditioning, as well as your front and rear windows. You'll also notice the seat comes standard with automatic power. This has 6 adjustable positions, as well as the seat is also made of the zero gravity memory foam. So it provides you with a more comfortable drive, so you can go a longer distance, greater duration. Body will not be as stressed, you'll feel more relaxed when you arrive at your destination. Moving on from here, you also see on your steering wheel, besides the comfortable handle, the steering wheel, you also have control to adjust your steering wheel height, as well as the depth that it sits at. Reminds me more of, a telescope on a submarine, but that's just me, how I consider it. Also, here in the driver cockpit, you have 6 airbags positioned here, 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 and same goes for this side. 6 total. Moving on to the back. The keys do in fact resist impacts on the ground if you were to drop them. Very, very nice feature. Get in your back seat here, and first and foremost, extremely comfortable. You actually have a ton of room in this back seat because this car shares the same frame as the Nissan Rogue, so you have a ton of room. Again, you have the carbon fiber accents, but potentially most importantly in a vehicle such as this, you have the USB port and the USB-C port. So in the future, if Apple were to, for instance, change from a regular USB to a USB-C, you don't have to worry about that. You're already covered, you got it in this car standard. You also have an additional 4 airbags back here, located here, 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 and here. Now, we'll move on to the trunk. First thing you're gonna notice here is your backup camera, which comes standard on all Nissan Altimas. Next, you're gonna notice these 2 fobs here. These are used to let down the seats, which split 60-40. I'll show you that on that side once we get there. Underneath here, you have your spare tire, as well as your tire changing tools that are necessary. You'll notice that this trunk is very, very spacious. It actually has best-in-class trunk capacity. Tail lights, again, polycarbonate. Let's see if we get this thing to come on down. So this is just an example of the 60-40 split seats. Again, it's extremely convenient for carrying more cargo, greater capacity. And finally, we got our passenger seat. And that concludes our demo. Hop on in, let's go for a test drive. I'll show you why this is the best value in America.